When I was young, one of the forms of social interaction that I found myself able to get involved in without being horrifically confused were games. A number of games, from board games to physical games actually, but for this video I will be talking about those games that, well, are more video in nature. Puns! It's about video games. But I had a neighbor, also to be one of my closest friends. He was really into the medieval scene. Medieval Total War, Stronghold Crusader, Age of Empires, The Elder Scrolls. These were the titles that defined a lot of my childhood. Thanks to them, as a young child in elementary school, I knew the difference between a long sword and a scimitar, and whether a crossbow fired arrows or bolts. I learned about topics such as Joan of Arc and the Crusades from these games, and I think one about the Crusades was actually where I first learned what a Muslim was. Anyway, I also gained quite the extensive, albeit useless, vocabulary. Cuirass, the type of armor covering the torso. Greaves, that covered your knees if I remember correctly. Scimitar, curved swords. It's more to it than that, but braziers, the fire pits archers would use to light their arrows on fire. Well, moving on. These words were often useless, that is, outside of scholastic competition. Similar to a lot of schools, mine had a class spelling bee, which sent the winners to a school spelling bee, and then to a state spelling bee. I got into the top of the class one because it was easy, went on to the more challenging school-wide competition. In the end, I managed to know a crucial word, not because of preparation, not because of studying, but because it happened to be part of a spell's name in one of those games. And that is the story of how I won a spelling bee because of video games. In fact, I actually became the first third grader from my school to go on to the state competition, even though I lost in the first round, but that's a different story. Moreover, it's a story of how a supposedly mindless element of pop culture instilled a love of knowledge into my young mind. And that is it.